All right, welcome to the Darker Tandations podcast. I'm your host, Victor Mambu. I have a very special guest with me today, my good friend, actor Will Guirola.
Mhm.
Man, it's been a minute since we actually, we've spoken a couple times, but face to face, if you will, through the metaverse.
Mhm.
Welcome, man, and thank you for coming on, bro.
Thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure. Always happy to talk with you, brother.
No, likewise, likewise. And just a little background, everyone. I met Will 2019, I believe, in a PSA for the County of Orange for secondhand smoking. He played my brother-in-law, and of course, I was the dude that smoked in front of all the kids in a birthday party. It was a quick bit, but we got to talk a little bit, and I just knew Will was somebody that I could really talk to and sponge up all the knowledge I can because he just knows a lot about the industry. And we agree on a lot of things as far as work ethic and scope of the industry. But I want to ask you, man, I never really got a chance to ask you, but I want to ask you, like, what made you want to become an actor?
Um, Honestly, it's definitely when I get asked that, I'm like, man, it's just interesting because I don't know, and not everyone knows my story, but I grew up in very humble beginnings. I definitely struggled a lot. We grew up very poor in my family. Um, and I didn't have the greatest people around me growing up. I wasn't told I could do anything. I wasn't told I could be, a teacher, an astronaut. Everything was no for me. Everything was like, you probably won't do much in this world, even from teachers, man. Even some teachers were rough on me.
Really?
Yeah, it's just I don't know if they saw something, but I honestly it was just like I said, it was rough for me at home, everywhere, and maybe I just wasn't shining that light. But I just remember always, even as a little kid, um, we'd have on Channel 5 here in LA, it was kind of like Sunday afternoon cinema on Channel 5.
Okay.
And they play random movies, never like just quirky movies. It was more like Oscar worthy, like these are like actor movies on Channel 5 afternoon cinema. It was like cinema at noon or something. It was weird. Um, and I would watch these movies and just be interested. Some of them were boring, some of them were cool. But I just remember being like, I'd watch a movie that maybe kids weren't watching at the time. I'd watch cartoons and stuff, but I'd watch. One of my earlier memories of watching a movie and going, "Wow," was Chaplin with Robert Downey Jr.
Ah, okay. Yes.
I don't know if everyone knows this movie, but it was like I remember watching this movie and going, I know Chaplin's dead, but how is he Chaplin? Like, how does he move like that? Like, how does he talk like that? Like even the backdrops and the people in the background. I go, it was like a like you know. And all through my childhood, I've something I've always been interested in. But I played sports. I was more of a sports kid. But the movies always interested me, and it wasn't till a little later in life. I wasn't in a good place. And mentally, I just remember going, it just came out of the blue. I was like, I want to be an actor.
Hmm.
Don't know where it came from. I said it out loud, said it in my mind. I was like, I want to be an actor. And maybe it's something that's always been in there and I was afraid to say, you know what I mean? But said it, and I'll be honest with you, once I said it and once I felt it, it started going, even if it was slowly, but it started moving. It started chugging along.
Yeah. So, like, I wanted to ask you. You told me that you grew up with people really not supporting you, even your teachers, and that kind of pains me because I'm a teacher. I teach history for my day job, and like I can't even imagine a teacher saying that. I really can't. And this is coming from a teacher. Did that at all motivate? Like I'm like, oh, okay. These people said I can't do it. Watch me. Did that at all motivate you?
You know what? It's funny because I think I was a little bit of a knucklehead at the same time,
Mm,
where not that I was a bad kid, but if you told me something, not everything stuck to me. You know what I mean? So
okay.
certain things you would tell me, and I'd be like, ugh. You know, what's that all about? But
Right.
but but I like I said, it wasn't all my teachers. I had one teacher in high school that I loved. Her name was Dee Benedetto, if I'm correct. She was an art teacher.
Hmm.
And she would sit me near her and she'd be like, oh, do this, do that, draw, do whatever you want. And then one day she pulled me to the side and she was different than these kids. And she was like, I don't know what it is, but you're different. She was like, don't be like everyone else. And I was like, I never understood that, but I had, like I said, not everyone was supportive, but I had random people who would say these things. And those are the ones that those words stuck to me the most. And honestly, to this day, people say what they want to say. I try to brush it off. And yeah, it stings, but I try to brush it off and just continue doing me.
Yeah. No, that's I think that's good to hear. A lot of times when we're kids, um, words really hurt. They're really impactful, and they sting and they stay. The fact that you said in your words knucklehead, but I understand what you meant by that. You're just like it's just kind of in one ear out the other, right? But the fact that I think maybe that had a little bit to do with it was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do my own. I'm gonna prove them wrong, but most important, I'm gonna prove myself that
Yeah.
what they said is not me, and I'm better than what they perceive. And I'm gonna do this on my own. And maybe, you know, that lack of support, so to speak, really allowed you to become more of that go-getter, if that makes sense. Um,
No, it does. And then I don't know if it's like that for everyone, but
mhm.
I always wanted to prove everyone wrong.
Okay.
I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you have it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people watching this have it. Where if someone
Yeah.
told you you couldn't do something, even if I was gonna fall flat on my face, I was like, I'm gonna do it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just, and it's something I've carried with me throughout my whole life, even to this day. If someone tells me I can't do something, or when someone's like, you only play this type of role, and I go, oh, okay, watch what I do next. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna piggyback on that. Okay. I'm gonna piggyback on that. There is this stigma that I've talked to other actors, like they don't want to be typecast. Okay.
Mm,
And speaking about that, you know, Latino, okay, let's call it is. Bald dude, Latino with the goatee. Okay. A lot of times you get cholo roles, right? And
mm.
or something in that nature, right? That's stereotypical. What is your approach on that?
Well, first of all, I can grow hair. I'm
Yeah,
not
right,
complete.
right.
I can grow hair.
I see the
Um,
I see the hairline. No, don't worry. Yeah.
there you go. It's all there.
You have a better hairline than me. I'll tell you that.
I just, you know what? I started shaving in high school when I was playing football.
Okay.
And now when it gets to like an inch long, it just itches, and I'm just like ah.
Yeah.
But I've grown it out. I've grown it out for a few things here and there. I have fun with it, but no. Honestly, especially when I first started, I haven't been acting forever, but when I first started, I definitely felt like it was only a certain type of role,
Okay.
and then I was like, no, I'm gonna try something different, and maybe some of those auditions, if someone plays them, I probably was horrible in, but I just wanted to try something different. And even to this day, I once in a while I get someone who goes, "You only play the same bad guys," and I go, "You must not see my work right now because it's all over the place. It's I'm a patient, I'm a killer, I'm a prisoner, I'm someone's uncle. I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's something that maybe not every actor wants to prove. Maybe some people like what they do. I like to prove it to myself. I like to try different things, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least in my heart, I know I gave it a shot.
Yeah. No, I love that. No, I mean, at the very end, I think that's all you can do. And I appreciate that. Now, speaking of those roles that you just mentioned, right? Man, when we first met, 2019, right? I was tracking your career, and I was like, dude, that is awesome. That is my boy. And I'm the type of person that just I'm encouraging. I love it when my friends do well. I really do. Um, I saw you in Lucifer, one of my favorite shows out there, Mayor of Kingstown. And I was watching it. I haven't missed an episode. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And when you came on, season 3, I believe, right? When you
Uh,
came on,
ooh,
right?
I think my first episode was like season 3 or 4. I can't remember.
3 or 4. Okay. When you came on, I was like, and I know someone that's in it. I love it. You know what I mean? And I think that's such a great. I love Taylor Sheridan, Jeremy Renner. I just love how that crime drama. I think it has to be specific, and they do such a good job. On top of that, you got Lincoln Lawyer and dude, The Pit. I mean, you are
Mhm.
killing it, you know? And again, speaking of which, you play different roles. Okay. So like
Yeah.
tell me about that. Tell me about just all that success, man. Like what do you attribute to and like how did just the overall feeling of it, man? I mean it's I know it's a dream come true, but what is your what is your mindset on that?
Um, Actually, I don't think I've even thought about that.
Yeah.
Um, I'll be honest with you. When I first started, I just wanted to act. I don't know if that's how we all start. I just wanted to act. I wanted to learn. I wanted to see things. And to be at the point where I'm at now, maybe I don't think about it always, but and I forget to let it sink in. But man, I'm grateful. You know what I mean? I'm living a dream, not just my dream, a lot of people's dreams.
Right.
I'm having fun, and honestly, that's all I could ask for. Just work and have fun. You know what I mean? I Animal Kingdom was super fun, and that was a big blessing for me. Animal Kingdom felt like okay, I could do this. When I did Animal Kingdom, I was like, I could do this. I could do this. I got to act with Pope, which is Sean Hattasey.
How does he? Yep. Yep.
Hattasey.
Southland. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could do this. I'm not. I don't know. You know what I mean? It was just like a thing. Like we could do this. Lucifer was fun. And I'll be honest with you. Just I can think of most of the jobs that I've done. I can look back and go, I learned something. I had fun. I got something out of it. Even the pit, the pit was grueling, grueling. That was tough. That was probably one of my tougher jobs.
Yeah.
Lots of hours, lots of being on set, but I got to be around a lot of creatives, a lot of talented people, and I got to see how they work or how they do things. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Mayor of Kingstown um, has been another one. Mayor of Kingstown has been one of my favorite jobs, as far as just working with different personalities, different characters, how they are, how they go. And then when we're on set, it's kind of like we know what we have to do, but we're brainstorming at the same time and coming up with different ideas. And honestly, I thank God, it's been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah. No, I think I love how you said like when you first started, you just wanted to act.
Mm.
And I think a lot of the success, and I know all the people I've talked to that are successful, that's had their dream come true, let's put it that way, just wanted to act.
Mhm.
Nothing about fame, nothing about I need to make a lot of money, whatever, whatever. Although I know we need money, but the fact that you just wanted to do it because you love it,
Mhm.
I think will translate to success in the end. Call me crazy, but I think that because you don't think about that. You just
Yeah,
think about loving to do it and then doing what you're doing what you're capable of
yeah,
to get to that point, if that makes sense.
yeah.
You're not really planning things like I just want to act and then we'll see where this goes. Oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do this I gotta turn this audition, I gotta get back to this person on time, and then it just kind of comes into fruition.
Mhm.
And look at all those shows that I've named, and then some, right? So I love how you approach the mindset of that, and I think it goes a long ways. I think a lot of people can really gravitate towards that. And also, I think if they can just love what they do,
Mhm.
I think things become easier mentally.
And
That makes sense.
that's what I tell everyone. I go, it doesn't matter what you do as long as you love what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Enjoy what you do. Like when you hate what you're doing, it makes your hours go long.
Mm.
Um, it's funny. I used to work. I don't know if I can say where I worked at, but it was a warehouse with an orange apron.
Okay.
I
Okay.
was like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't
Gee, I don't
know.
know what that is.
I
Yeah.
don't know
Go
if I
ahead.
can say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I enjoyed it when I first came in, and then towards the end, I just didn't like it anymore. It wasn't for me. I wanted to act, and let's just say they weren't always supportive of my acting.
Yep.
But I remember I was like, you know what? While I'm here, I'm gonna have fun. I don't care. And they put me in front of the door as a greeter, And I was like, why a greeter? And I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna be the best greeter there is. People would walk in and I'd be like, welcome to so and so, whatever this place is.
Yeah.
Where we have this, where we have this, we can help you. It's the most magical place on earth. And I just would be, I didn't know it was technically improv.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was just throwing stuff out
Practice, right?
there.
Practice.
Practice.
Yeah.
But it was me just talking to people, saying hi to people. And when they saw that I was having too much fun with that, they were like, no, 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 we're gonna put you somewhere else. But you know what I mean? I just, I tell everyone, man, I don't care. It shouldn't matter what you do. As long as you're having fun or find the fun in it, it's going to make life easier. And, there was a point in acting where I wasn't having fun and it wasn't easy. And I had to go back to like, let's have fun again.
Right. I, I love that, man. Like making the best of what the situation is, because then that's what acting is, right? Because you're gonna have lulls in acting, right? Let's face it. You're gonna have ups and downs. And how do you fill that void when it's down, right? The same thing what you did with that job, right? You're like, no, I'm gonna make the best of it.
Yeah.
Same thing. When it's slow, I'm gonna make the best of it because I love what I do. This is I rather do this than anything else, right? I think for me, I've kind of shelved, let's say, acting for a while. It always goes back. It always someone pulls me back, and I think you could probably attest to that as well. You know what I mean? Or maybe it hasn't left you. I don't know. But the fact that you love and you have passion for acting, this is what you want to do the rest of your life, and
Yeah.
your success has it's a testament to that. You know what I mean? And speaking of which, obviously you've had a lot to deal with, okay, when it comes to how you grew up and what motivated you to get into acting and some of the lulls. What advice would you give to someone that is struggling right now? Like I said, I think we talked about this before. Not many people experience the glitz and glamour, but more so the grit and the grind. Okay, I think you and I probably have gone that route. What advice would you give to people that is going through some stuff? Because you went through some stuff, but now look at you've been successful. So what is your words of encouragement for them?
Um, Man, it doesn't stay like that forever. Whatever you're going through, it's not like that forever. And I'm pretty sure all of us can go back to a certain point in our lives, a breakup, you lose a job and you're like, it's the end of the world. And it's not. It's
Right,
not. It's a season. It's a
right,
season. You know what I mean? It's a moment in time and things get better. And, that's something that I've struggled with throughout my life. I've seen other people struggle with. And I tell them, I go, it's not going to last forever. That
mm,
pain, that anger, that betrayal, it's not going to last forever. You'll forget about it, or if you don't forget about it, but it's not the same impact that it once had. You know what I mean? And I just tell everyone, if I can tell anyone, give anyone some advice, it's just hold on, be strong. The world needs you. Your family needs you. There's someone out there who appreciates you. So if you're like, man, no one cares about me, no, there's someone out there that appreciates you. You have something or someone to fight for. And ultimately, if there is no one, you you can fight for yourself.
mm,
You can fight for yourself. You can prove people wrong. I don't know, like that's why I believe in
yeah,
having goals, dreams. I have daily goals, monthly goals, yearly goals. So I'm constantly going, because when I feel like I'm stuck in a rut, it's not the greatest feeling, you know what I mean? So then I'm like, no, no, what do we have to do? What can we change up? Well, and maybe that's also a negative thing that my mind's constantly working, but it's just how I function.
yeah,
And I feel like, stay active. I love playing video games. You saw my room. I have an arcade. I have video games.
yeah.
I'm
Toys,
the
everything. Yeah,
I'm a big nerd. I'm a big nerd. I have toys. I have things that occupy my attention and time for times.
mm,
But when it's time to work, when it's time to get busy, it's like, no, let's get busy. You know what I mean?
mm,
So just like anything else, it's okay to have hobbies and things you like, but it's also okay to dive into things that you have to do, things you want to do. If there's something you want to do out there, just do it. What's
right.
stopping you? Dude, honestly, what's stopping you? I've had people tell me this is what I want to do, and I go do it, and they go but, and I go but what? Just do it. Like if it works out, amazing. If it doesn't work out, you mark it off the checklist. You tried it. You have life goes on, you know.
Right, right. This is the last point I want to make, and I think you and I have talked about this, and it's something I think a lot of actors don't want to talk about. Sacrifice. What can you talk about as far as sacrifice? What, because listen, it's a lot of people don't want to use this word, but it is competitive.
Mhm.
I always, but with that said, I believe that there's a role for everyone, right? There's
Yeah.
multiple roles for everyone. There's multiple avenues on how to get into the industry, right? But in essence, it's a competition,
Mhm.
and you have to be willing to work harder than the next person, but also sacrifice.
Mhm.
What can you elaborate on that?
I mean, everyone's journey is different. I feel like I did it the hard way. I did it in a way where it wasn't easy. I wasn't getting paid at first.
Mm.
At first I was lucky enough to get $20 for gas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I did it a tough way. I just didn't know there was another way. I didn't know you could get paid for background. I didn't know a lot of these things.
Mhm.
Um, I went in it the tough way, but I also think because I went in it the tough way, it makes me appreciate this side of it.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I appreciate it more. And sacrifice. I mean, there was times where I worked the night shift so I can go to auditions during the day. So let's say I worked and I got off at 6 in the morning, but I had an audition at 9 in the morning. So I drive almost, because of traffic in LA. Traffic in LA is horrible.
It's
I
unpredictable.
drive
Yeah.
to the audition place. I sit out there, not off for a second, go into the audition room, and I wouldn't say be jealous, but I was a little envious that here I am exhausted, tired, and I hadn't taken a shower, and everyone was just like, let me see my sides.
Yeah.
And I'm over here struggling mentally because I'm so tired. Um, but everyone's struggle is different. Whatever you're going through, you're not the only one. And odds are maybe someone has had it worse. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I say just fight through it, go through it. If you want something in life, life is no one said life was going to be easy. If you want something in life, you might have to work harder. You might have to sacrifice. You might have to let go of friends, a job, something comfortable. You might have to not listen to your closest family members when they're not supportive. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
it's a thing. I've heard millions of stories. Everyone's different. Some people have it easier than others. But I mean, some of the greatest stories as an actor or just in history, you've heard of sacrifices. There's things that they did or the hours they put in, but there's it's work. And if it comes to you easier than that, more power to you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's been tougher for me.
Yeah. No, that's awesome to hear. And what you just said there. This is the days before video auditions, right? Thank God for them. But just, all along the way, I think the sacrifices you make, the vision that you have and all the work and all that you put in, awesome translated to all the success that you've had, man. And I can't say, man, I want to say I'm so happy for you, man. In an industry, in a world of acquaintances, you're a friend, and you don't have many of those people. Um, and you've been supportive of my journey as well too, and that goes a long way. To see you succeed, that motivates me, man. And honestly, I'm just super happy for you. Um, because you're a man of God like me, and we've talked about this countless times, and all this is true blessings from him, and I just can't say enough about just how happy and um, just proud of all the whole journey, man. So
And I think
thank you
that I
so much,
appreciate it.
man. Yeah,
You know what? I want to finish off with
yeah,
I just feel like to someone else. It doesn't take much to say a few good words. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Especially in this industry when because I felt it. I would have people to my face go, "Why you?" You know what I mean? Or they go, they're talking to me, looking me up on IMDb, going, "You?" And I go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Like, what's that all about?" I've never been that person, man.
yeah,
Especially because I know how it is, because I've been through it. I go through it. when if you post something like I did this, I do, congrats, great job, because you have to put more energy into the negative stuff than to be positive. It's just you
Yeah.
honestly do. Like you want to be a hater, like
Yeah.
I don't get it. Where do you get? And I
Right.
feel like when you give, if you give positivity, and I'm not talking about fake positivity,
Right.
I'm talking about from the heart, going, dude,
Genuine.
congrats,
Yeah.
because I know what it's like to get this small commercial, and everyone's like, oh my God, you're making millions. It's like, no, I'm not.
Right. Right.
they they barely paid me to get there. They bought
Yeah.
me pizza,
Right.
and I get to go home. You know what I mean?
Right.
But to me, those are little blessings. Those are little stepping stones to a
Right.
bigger picture. And
Yeah.
whether it's acting, whether it's someone going to school to be a construction worker, it's that first step, and then taking steps, and then celebrating those moments, and not just celebrating them for yourself, but for other people. Like,
Right.
if someone's like, dude, I just went to school to be a barber, dude, congrats, knock that out.
Yeah.
It takes nothing to be positive, especially in the world with a lot of negativity. And as an actor to an actor, you or anyone else, if you guys post something or I see something, I'm like, dude, I saw you. Congrats. And because I've seen it from the other side when someone's seen me and they act like they haven't seen me, or you know what I mean? Or they'll
Yeah.
be like, oh, you were pretty good on that. And I go, that's cool, I guess. Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate it. But it's like, why do you say it like that if you don't really want to
Yeah.
say it? You know what I mean? I think it's a lot better to just be positive, and if you're positive to people, and if I see you tomorrow on so and so show or movie, I'm like, dude, congrats, because the way I see it, you're in my circle. Even if you're
Yeah.
not immediate friends, you're in my circle. So that means I'm next.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, no, that I
Um,
mean it gravitates, right? The
yeah.
positivity gravitates. And I think you said it right there. I mean, being negative, being a hater is a full-time job that you hate, if that makes sense. It takes you exert so much not just energy, but like mental
Yeah.
capacity. We only live this life once.
Enjoy it, man. Have fun.
Exactly.
Be
And
good.
that's what we're doing, right? That's what we're doing. And again, man, congrats and all the success. And I can't wait to see more, to be honest with you. And I'm gonna see more. And you have a lot of things coming up. I know we can't mention, but again, thank you so much, man. It's a blessing to know. It's a blessing to call you a friend. And again, I said in this world, in this little industry that we love so much, where a lot of people come and go. You definitely stuck around, and you're one of the real ones, bro. So I appreciate you. God bless, and thank you for coming on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much to Will Guirola. Guirola. There you go. I said it right. I stumbled in a second, but any last words, Will?
Yeah, yeah, I just want to say, anyone out there, man, even if I don't know you, man, I love you. I love everyone, man. Be good, be happy, be positive. Fight for another day. Check out The Pit season 2. I'm in that. Mayor of Kingstown season 4. Check that out. I'm also in that.
Yes, sir.
I had a cameo in Euphoria, this Euphoria season 3.
Oh, shoot.
Uh,
Okay.
I think a little cameo in the first episode, and then also did a guest spot on Lincoln Lawyer, season 3. And just, yeah, there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more. That I'm already working on some stuff, and just can't talk about it. But
Of course.
just out there hustling.
Yes, sir. And we'll post your Instagram and also your IMDb links on this on the platforms. And again, thank you so much, brother, for Victor and for Will. We are the Darker Tanned Asians signing out.